Happy New Year. Ani, bonjour, kwekwe, tanzi, scano, hi hi. It's Catherine and Brian at Moonstarlodge in South Central Ontario with the first full reading for 2025. In fact, this is covering the period from the 6th through to the 12th. And the 12th is in the energy of the full moon for this month of talks with relations. I'm using what I think, excuse me, for the most part, are completely new decks that I've never actually used on camera before. They're very beautiful decks. They reflect the theme of being alone and loneliness. We're in this post-celebratory hoopla of the month of December has calmed down, and the weather, at least in my part of Ontario, has been pretty brutal for the past few weeks, to the point that Brian's had to wear a back brace and deal with the snow and all of those things. So it's you know, I'm in hunkered down mode. Wheelchairs, especially electric wheelchairs, and wet, snowy, slushy environments don't work well. So I'm hunkered down, and this is the theme that the spooks and the ancestors have picked up on and want to talk to us about, going from the extreme high on the roller coaster of December to this plummeting into the introspective. Being alone and feeling lonely are very different things, and we need that alone time in order to turn our thoughts inward and deal very gently with things that trouble us or we wish to shift, in order to take the time to plan without any external pressure from other people, other circumstances, other commitments. So the very beautiful deck I've chosen is the Lonely Dreamer Tarot by Melissa Wotherspoon and Dr. Esther Frankel Tishman. This is on the artwork, or based on the artwork, of Odilon Redden, who had a very lonely childhood. And so they made both this tarot and an oracle to go with it. So that's the principal deck for not just this week, but next week's reading as well. The Oracle Door is also by Melissa Wotherspoon and continues with oracular support to the deck I just mentioned, again using Odilon Redden's art. We have the Bloodlands Oracle. This is a black and white deck. I got it in just around Christmas time, and it gives me chills to work with it. It is a very powerful deck, and I'm going to enjoy incorporating it not just in readings like this, but in the private practice that we have. The Intuitive Whispers Oracle by Maud Hurst. The Cosmic Magic Oracle, which is giving us our astrological timelines in typical Western astrology. The Marigold Tarot for the Ancestors. The Journey of a Lonely Soul by Charles Harrington and Anna Madgeborn. And finally, Into the Lonely Woods, a really beautiful, beautiful deck by the very prolific Lucy Cavendish, with art by Dan May. So as I said, it's about how we express ourselves in these times that we have alone, when the hoopla of celebration has died down, and the more stark winter reality has stepped in. So you can flip to the cards, Brian. Here are the 7 tarot. This is actually also from the tarot deck. There are some oracle cards that Melissa put into this, and I felt that this worked better as a clarifier in this situation. The other clarifying decks are here, and the 3 astrological cards, which we will come to at the end. So we start here with the 7 of Wands, feeling, and this is a collective reading, remember, so this will apply to, apparently, according to Spirit, the majority of us, but we are in a defensive position, in a sense of we have the upper ground here. We are solidly in a state of confidence about our position, our choices, our actions. And references to this come up in the other cards, interestingly. So the choices that we've made, whether they be the dreaded New Year's resolutions or whatever these are, our position is secure and firm, and others who may challenge us have nothing to say and nothing to add to what we're experiencing. So it's staying on solid ground and staying firm. The ancestor card that clarifies this is the Ace of Rings, which is the Ace of Pentacles in this deck. And we have a couple of aces in this reading. So the ancestors are pointing to the joy of new beginnings. And the Wands card says that the beginnings that we're making in this new year may not really be actually based on the calendar. They are choices that may have already started months ago to come into play. But the decisions that we're making are bringing us to a new beginning in the material world. So this is our 3rd dimensional life. This is money, career, relationships, family, community, and our expression of living in this reality. So the 7 of Wands is followed by the Ace of Wands, and this is a new passionate beginning, incubating of a new direction. Something is going to get us fire in the belly, taking us in a whole new journey, and it's always the wands, the fire element, are infused by Spirit. This is a calling, a longing. It may have been with us, some of us, for years and years, and only now, suddenly, can we begin to express it. Maybe we've known it's been coming for a long time, but how it's manifesting is manifesting for most of us now. It's clarified here by the gateway, and this is quite an appropriate card. We're stepping through from an old way of being into a new way of being, and this is quite exciting. This means that all the elements here, our life journey has been predicated by something that's coming together right now. The 3rd card here, however, is the 10 of Swords. It's the recognition that something is done. It's done. Put it in the trash. It's over. And there is light on the horizon. There are new beginnings here coming. We have to turn our back to things that have been in order for this newness to take up its form, however that's going to manifest. I often tell people you can't pick up the new backpack on a new journey until you let down the old backpack and take it off. It's clarified here by the card duality, and duality references the awareness of the yin and the yang, the animus and the anima. We don't know the truth of the reality of something unless we see the opposite. So Spirit is saying we need to integrate and become in balance with the duality points. We can't always see the darkness in our life. We can't always see the light in our life. We have to know both realities in order to see that this thing that is done is allowing, this is the old, so now something new is coming. This is very much an air card, so we've had a couple of fire cards. Now we're into the mental domain. And what may be holding us back is our own mind, thinking that things in the future will be the way something happened in the past. We move to the middle card here, which is the Seven of Cups. It's about lots of opportunities, some of them good, some of them bad, and this is a time when we can be going down the rabbit hole of choices and just get totally lost. It's the scrolling thing, the scrolling through life, and oh, look at this, and oh, look at that. In Thoth Tarot, this card represents debauchery. It's just like just goofing around and not doing anything because there's just too many choices and we can't make up our minds. Spirit is leaning this way about the choices thing, so we have to be careful about the choices. The card that clarifies it is memory. And I think memory may be in some ways an anchor card for this whole week. If we get lost in our memories and in the past, we cannot move forward. So while this is important for us in terms of the balance of life to remember our history, because a history not remembered is a history repeated, there's remembering something and then there's wallowing in it. So we have to bring our memories forward to make sure our memories help us with these choices and what's the best one. And maybe none of the choices that present themselves are worthy of our action and intention. We have another Swords card. This is the Six of Swords. And this is about moving out of rough waters onto calmer waters, looking at our life from the opposite shore. It's a new perspective card intellectually, and that's important. The thing here is we still have choices we can make. We still have somebody assisting us as we row this boat to calmer waters. We are supported, and we have to remember that. In fact, the other person here is very much a spirit form. So we cannot be disconnected from Source. We can choose to ignore Source, but we are being helped to find a new perspective in a safer place. It's clarified by the antechamber of apathy. And I'm just going to grab the book. I think it's important for me to give you that direction here. The antechamber of apathy. It's saying we may share our lives with others, but we cannot live for them. Even with the best intentions in mind, others may easily become too invested in your destiny. We are told what we should want, how we should feel, who we must be. If you reflect on all the things you have wanted in your life, you may find that many of them can be traced back to some other source that planted the seed. This is a time to draw the curtains within your mind and seek answers from an inner source. Find a moment of peace and tranquility and listen to your own mind. Let it fly free without judgment. Let stray thoughts float away and pause to examine the ones that stay. Here you will find the pearl of wisdom that you truly need at this time. Raise your defenses. That's this card. Raise your defenses, and their chirping will find no way to intrude upon your peace. Let the wind carry away false narratives that have tried to adorn you, and experience the bliss and clarity that remains. So this is very much in keeping here with the journey so far. What comes is the King of Pentacles. So we're down here with the Ace, and now we've reached the King. The abundance that we need, the stuff that needs to be settled out in our human walk, which is including the resolution of the dualities, the acknowledgement of the dualities we face, means we have everything we need to the point of creating a legacy, not just for our family, but for the community at large. The King of Pentacles is an expansive archetype. So if we take that on, we see a much bigger picture by the end of the week than we might have started with. And it's interesting, it was clarified by this card. You're more powerful than you know. Yes, we all are, especially if we stop being hindered by other people and circumstances around us. There is a cautionary note here by the Eight of Swords. So we've had these three rather dire, to some degrees, differing degrees. This is entrapment without actually being entrapped. This is fears and stuff. We are capable of releasing ourselves. Nobody is entrapping us. It is us that gets trapped in the cycles of old stories that loop around, old tapes that they used to say in university, that loop around, and we replay them over and over to the point we feel trapped and feel no particular way out. It's clarified by our shadows are beautiful. So we can face our shadows this week, the things that really do need to be part of those New Year's resolutions, and have got to, as Tracy Ullman used to say at the end of her show, go home, go. She'd come out on stage with slippers and a housecoat and just tell the audience to go home. So the things that, when we turn and face the shadow and acknowledge it and incorporate it, these kinds of issues, the inner turmoil calms down. The stuff, the awareness of the duality, not listening to other people, all of that calms down, and we start these new walks here with passion and abundance, and we're told it's there. The last three things are the astrological cards. So we're in Capricorn, and this starts now. We're not waiting for this to start. This has started. And the word that best describes Capricorn is persistence. This star card keeps coming up. It came up in some private readings, and it came up for me. It is through the stars. The stars we are born, and to the stars we shall return. We have such long nights now. We need to connect with the star people, our ancestors. We are not alone. The stars are about healing and hope. And everything that's talked about here culminates in Taurus, which is a beautiful card. It's from the last week of April till the last week of May. So this is very earth grounded. What does it say? Does it have a word for Taurus? It says savor. So enjoy. You can flip the camera, Brian. I was a little concerned that people would be scared away by the sense of this loneliness and solitude these cards seem to speak to. But they've very much given us some key points in how to resurrect our New Year joy and enthusiasm. We won't ever know that until we've had time to really digest everything that this winter brings us. These times of solitude and introspection, they're necessary parts of life. Anyway, we would like to thank you for following along if you're still here, and thank you for sending your donations and supporting us. Feel free to send these, share these videos with others. We would appreciate growing our audience so that YouTube thinks we're viable here, and we offer you blessings and peace. Aho.